morning, everyone. Welcome to today's national webinar on preparedness of career prospects during and post COVID-19, hosted by Placement Cell, Palamuru University. This is Shivani Reddy. I welcome everyone and thank you for joining us for today's webinar. Let us begin our session with a prayer song by Pranati. Thank you, Pranati. I take opportunity to invite convener of our program, Dr.S.N. Sir.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, ma'am. Professor Monisha, ma'am, Dr. Surendra Prasad, sir, Dr. Patrick, sir, and my colleagues, and Dr. Noorjan, ma'am, chairperson, University College principal. Ma'am, I welcome you all to this webinar, wherein in this situation, we are facing so much of difficulties. So today, both the speakers, they are going to say about how we have to come out of the pandemic situation. So the first session will be of Professor Monisha ma'am, and second session will be of Dr. Chetan Srivatsa sir. So I am going to greet you all. Today is World Entrepreneurs Day to all, because we are all entrepreneurs. We are working for the universities. So today is World Entrepreneurs Day celebrations, the building of businesses against all odds. Each year on this 21st August, World Entrepreneurs Day is celebrated to make awareness for entrepreneurship, innovation, leadership around the world. And it is a day for those who start and grow their own businesses in various situations, working hard as founders, innovators, designers, producers, and contractors. So today I'm going to introduce you all to this webinar. Today's topic, the theme is preparedness for the career prospect during and post COVID situation. Distinguished guests are Dr. Monisha ma'am, professor and head department of microbiology, Central University of Punjab. Dr. Chetan Srivatsa sir, associate professor and waiting professor, School Management of Studies, University of Hyderabad. I want to add these two speakers are the youngest professors in their universities, and even we are bestowed with the youngest professor, that is our patron sir, Professor Pindi Pawan Kumar sir, in our university also. So today, as it is very auspicious day, and we are with all the youngest professors who are going to lead this nation, and they are going to guide these our students and the teaching fraternity how to come out of this pandemic situation, and how to overcome these all obstacles, and how to guide the students to go for career prospects. I'm going to introduce all our webinar steering committee, our chief patron, Sri Rahul Bujja sir, IAS, Vice Chancellor in charge Vice Chancellor, our patron sir, Professor Pindi Pawan Kumar sir, Registrar, patron Dr. D. Madhusudan Reddy sir, OSD to Vice Chancellor, another patron Dr. N. Kumaraswamy, Controller of Exams, Chairperson Dr. M. Noorjan ma'am, Principal, myself as the convener, and my friend, he is going to give the support, Dr.M.S.R.Anjaneyulu sir, Academic Coordinator, PG Center, Kolhapur, and I'm going to make you a way to our university. Uh, I'm going to take 1 minute to show my university a clip. So as it is pandemic, we cannot come to my university, but I am inviting you all to my university in a virtual way.
Power loss by the female.
Everyone for viewing our university virtual view. Now I request Dr. Noorjahan ma'am, chairman and principal, to give an inaugural address. Okay, ma'am. So, ma'am may address later because of bandwidth low. Now I request Shivani to introduce today's speaker.
Monisha ma'am, Dr.Monisha, Professor and Head Department of Microbiology, Central University of Punjab. Ma'am completed her MSc, MPhil, PhD from Himachal Pradesh University. She did her PhD on radiation and cancer biology. She received various awards and scholarships. Ma'am received an award of excellence for brilliant and consistent high standards of workmanship in the field of scientific research from the Bank of India on International Women's Day, 8 March 2019. Recipient of Faculty Research Award from Central University of Punjab, Batinda on 10th Foundation Day, that is February 2019, under the category Cumulative Impact Factor, more than 15 of research publications in the academic year 2017-18. Recipient of Outstanding Researcher Award from Central University of Punjab on 10th Foundation Day, February 2019. Professor A.R. Rao Memorial Young Scientist Award from Society for Mitochondrial Research and Medicine, organized by Jawaharlal Nehru University, New Delhi, India. Ma'am also received Certificate of Merit for commendable work in Community Development Cell on 8th Foundation Day of Central University of Punjab, Bathinda, February 2019. She also received Young Investigator Award DST on the year 2013 November. And she also received second prize for oral presentation in National Postdoc Appreciation Week Symposium UTMB USA 2010. Ma'am also received first prize in poster presentation in International Education Week organized by PAHO WHO Collaborating Center for Training in International Health at UTMB, Galveston, USA in the year 2019. Travel award through trust to attend the 109th General Meeting, American Society for Microbiology in the year 2019 in USA. She also received Council of Scientific and Industrial Research Senior Fellowship from New Delhi and India. Now, ma'am is a member of Advisory Committee for YES program to advise on program planning, conceptualization for various activities under the National Health and Risk Communication Program. So, without any delay, let us invite our today's speaker, Dr. Monisha ma'am, to take over the session. Now, I request all the participants to please mute your microphones. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. I thank the organizers for giving me this opportunity. Thank you, everybody, and Honorable Vice Chancellor, sir, and the whole team of your university. Dr. Arjun, I had one opportunity 3 years back. I think I visited your university. So yes,
Thank you,
now I see the gate is new, the entrance is new.
Yes,
that time it was not there.
Yes.
So yes, I had this opportunity to visit your university. Good campus. Organizers, thank you. It's really good to think about in this line that how we can help the students in this situation when everybody is so worried that what is our future, what are the courses. So so many issues are there. So we being the intellectual or being the teachers, I think if we can guide the students, so that will really help them. So I'm just starting I have some slides I have prepared, so I'll just go through that also and just keep on talking. It will be more of an interactive session than anything else. Okay, so when I was given this opportunity, I was asked to do a presentation on this preparedness. My slides are visible. It's fine.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So when I was given this opportunity to talk about some preparedness for career prospects during and post COVID, so I'm not an expert in that field, but still being a teacher, being a researcher, even sharing our thoughts with the students can help them. So that is what the objective was. So I thought that although I'm not an expert of any placement cell or anything, but still being in research from more than a decade and teaching from more than 8 years or 10 years. So I think even if we share our views, that will make the students feel better. So that's what I thought, okay, let me talk. And teachers, being teachers, we can talk. So we are good in talking. So we can talk and we can discuss things with the students. So before COVID, whenever we talk about what are the past prospects, basically my talk would be more of how the science students will be dealing. You know, there's another session where other faculty will talk about other subjects. So in the beginning, this is what I thought that, okay, all the time, whenever there is a medical student or a 12th student passing out, the prospects earlier they used to come in mind was all the time doing MBBS, doing dental, or pharmacy. These were the few things. If a person is interested in medical, so these were the options the students would take after their class 12. If they are good in economics or agriculture, then they will go for BSc agriculture, farm management, biotechnology, agricultural biotechnology. If they're good in maths and want to do agriculture together, then agriculture stats was there. So there were many options like this. These options are still there, but how things will change during COVID or post-COVID, that is what we will, because these are basic sciences which will never change, just a prospect. For some time, we will think that we have to change our mind with the changing situation, but these opportunities would always be there. We cannot say that, okay, a person doing agriculture or biotechnology will not fit in. But yes, there can be some slow in their placement and all. So that's why earlier it was, if a person wanted to do forensic, biotechnology, geology, these were the places where after doing their +2, they will do their BSc and followed by master's or PhD. So these were the career prospects which all the time we used to think that a science student will do. But biotechnology, food technology, microbiology, and now, yes, microbiology is, because of this COVID, microbiology is one of the clinical microbiology is again very hot topic still there. So how the things are, what are the scenarios? How are the things during COVID? Just I'll give you some of the Economic Times news was there, that India has a population of 138 crore, and about 75% of that means about 100 crores are ready to be at working stage. They are ready to be employed. In February 2020, before the corona, about 40 crore Indians were employed, and it can be anything, daily wages, self-employed or anything. And 3.4 crores were unemployed. Just within 2 weeks of lockdown, the 40 crore of employment came down to 28 crore. So you can imagine about 12 crore drop down just in 2 weeks. So this is definitely a thing we have to think. So because if within 2 weeks of lockdown, the employment has gone down up to that level, we can imagine that how the scenario would be after 5 months now, so yes, we are still waiting for stats. We will see that, but definitely that is a very critical situation where we have to think that, okay, what is the employability? What degrees we should do where the employability can be enhanced. Then I was trying to see what is the situation of the students. So this is one survey which was done by MHRD. This is survey of higher education which was done by MHRD, where in year 2019, about 33 lakh students, arts, commerce, science, humanities, they passed, they got their degree, they graduated. Similarly, about 16 lakhs of MBA and engineering students, they got graduated. So about, if you see, that's about 49 lakh of students which are there ready for the graduated, and they have to get employed. So every year, and similarly, it was 2019 data. So definitely in 2020 also similar kind of data would be there. If you see, it would be about 49 to 50 lakh students who are getting graduated, and they have to seek opportunity. And we have a backlog of already 2 weeks. The backlog was gone, about 12 to 13 crore of unemployment was there. So what is there? I'm not trying to scare the students. It's not something I want to scare you people, but it's very important that we should know the facts. What are the things where we stand? And based on that, we have to start see which direction we have to move in. So this was some data about from MHRD. So similarly, when COVID started, most of the engineering and many places, they do their on-campus fairs, career fairs and all. Many of them were dropped down. Many of them, similarly, virtual fairs were conducted, but many times the students are not that good. Their internet facility, they don't have internet in the remote places. How will they do the virtual fairs? So many of those students who, because of their facilities, which was not their internet at their home, mobile phone or smartphones, they missed that opportunity. So yes, virtual fairs were organized, but that is not something where we say that most of the students will get placed because of the other limitations, financial issues and other issues they had. Even the firms who were earlier, who used to come to IITs and these big institutes, they were not interested, because they themselves had so much of financial crunch, that new hiring, it is very difficult for the firms also to take care of their previous employees. How can they hire new ones? So this is in the beginning, things came out, and even MHRD has reported that the number of students opting for higher education has dropped this year as compared to previous year, because people want that, they want job security. Anywhere, let us gain some experience. So then this was quite, it looks quite grim, but yes, in the middle of the difficulty lies opportunity. I just like this quote from Albert Einstein, that whenever there is any difficulty, there has to be some opportunity behind it. So yes, what would be those? We have to see that. So how India started, how we started changing. We started changing the flexible education system, how things started changing in India post during this lockdown or during this COVID pandemic. Earlier, we were having some open resource digital learning source solutions, but we were hardly opting for them. You know, MOOC and those courses were there from proposed Swayam courses UGC was offering, but we were hardly opting for them. But recently, these MOOC and online courses, they are 4-credit course, and many of them, so they were actually helping the students. So this was something very important, that to cover up your credit, the students were able to go for these online source. So we made our online digital learning strong first. Second, in many the positivity of this scenario is that, okay, our online learning increased. Second, even the technology, which was earlier thought that only city people or urban class, they go for technology based learning, it was not like that. Even the remotest part of country, if internet facility, those recently you see optical fiber was given to Andaman Nicobar, where we think, okay, the kind of, so technology, because the requirement was there, so even the remotest part of the country, the facilities, such kind of facilities were given, so that education can be enhanced in those areas. Yes, we have issues, I understand that many, in those cases, in those places, having a laptop, having a smartphone will remain an issue, but yes, slowly things are changing, and we'll see it will go better. Same time, we started e-learning, very uniform e-learning. So one thing which is a positivity during this lockdown is that people have started more of traditional knowledge was increased. Okay, how to enhance the immunity. Everybody is talking about, okay, these are the Indian ethnobotanical plants which increases your immunity. So yes, that's a plus point during COVID, that yes, our yoga system, our traditional medicine, our Indian medicine, those things have gained international repute during this time. So yes, there, as I was telling you, that there has to be some hidden opportunity. So there are opportunities. Similarly, there were special online resources which has been created by ICERS, IECT, ICER. This is for especially for my science student who want to know that what we are going to do during this time. So we have to understand that students, they used to go for their summer training during vacations, but just to help the students, that if they cannot go for those summer trainings, so this intern shala, that is absolutely e-learning based portal. CSIR and its institutes has integrated some integrated skill initiative, absolutely wonderful. Some of my master students, they have registered in this, and even CCMB, CDRI, most of the CSIR institutes are offering this kind of skilled initiatives, which are very, very helpful for the students, and they don't have to physically go there, and they are learning by their virtual labs and everything. So very, very helpful for the students, and same time they are getting certificates from those CCMB and very high repute institutes, where they don't have to spend money on registration, they don't have to physically spend on accommodation. So there were so many things which earlier they used to do. So this is a positivity, another positive thing I'm thinking of during this COVID. Similarly, MHRD has EPG Pathshala. If you people are not using it, something very, very amazing. Most of the courses, very beautiful courses. You must use this EPG Pathshala. Very good courses. E-Yantra for engineering students. Virtual labs, when we were not able to complete some of the practicals in my immunology and microbiology, this virtual labs, it's a IIT Madras, IIT Roorkee's initiative, where they have they have proposed some virtual labs. Each and every step of an experiment is there. So microbiology students and immunology, whatever experiments we are not able to conduct in the lab, these virtual labs are amazing. You just have to go to the MHRD website and these virtual labs are there. Shodh Ganga, we used to say that, okay, there was a time when this just PubMed or NCBI search is the only search where we can find the publications. But now even MHRD has its own Shodh Ganga, where you will find all the theses, peer-reviewed journals. So again, we are trying to create a database, again, a positive thing of this COVID pandemic. And then Swayam Prabha, about 32 channels were launched, and there's undergraduate and postgraduate education. You know, if you don't have internet, but you have TV, you have DD National, Doordarshan is there. So these Swayam Prabha, some of the channels, they are giving such a good classes, teaching-based learning for some of those courses. There was another, many IITs, most of the IITs and ICERs, they are free e-learning options are they are giving specific to any topic you need. So yes, these are the things which we can do even during lockdown. So when I say that, okay, how things will change, it's hard to predict how post-COVID the things would be. But yes, there would be big changes, and it is not just in our country, it will be whole world. So everybody is ready for that. That there would be few changes. In office work would be very minimal. In coming months also will be like this only. Work from home culture would be more, which you used to think that it was a Western culture. You know, we never thought that, okay, we will have a work from home culture in India too. But yes, we are now, we are quite happy with that, and we are doing it. Meetings and physical meetings would be replaced by emails and online meetings, which we are doing. These webinars, we used to do conferences, and now we are doing just webinars. And definitely, if you see the positive side of this, we are just not spending, we are just saving the economy. We don't have to spend for the travel, food, and all those things which we used to do for a conference, organize a conference. Office buildings will be changed into a conference centers, where a common place we can organize a meeting. More of automation and digital skills would be, that is what is the future expected changes post-COVID. It's for everybody. And yes, more of casual office. If I'm working from home, then more of office casual wear would be there, and face mask. You will see, you're seeing Dr. Anjaneyulu wearing a mask now. Okay, so so this is what, so as we know that changing priorities, definitely it will change the career options also. So now what would be the things where we can go, and what are the options? So definitely when our priorities are changing, our career options will also change. So these are some of the things. In the beginning, my slides, I started that those were the basic things, basic sciences. We all the time say, okay, doing a zoology, botany. But yes, because of this, because of COVID, people will more be interested in the healthcare, computer related field, accounts, where they are more digital. You know, they don't have to go in the lab and do some wet work. Without that, degree is not complete. So people will be more happy to do something computer aided, and computer related fields will be sorted more. More of automation, artificial intelligence, skill-based employment. Definitely, we have to make our skill-based learning very, very strong. And that is what everybody cannot, as I showed you in the beginning, that within 2 weeks, about 28 from 40, about 12 crore unemployment was generated. So definitely skill-based learning, we cannot depend on somebody to give us a job. So skill-based learning will be independent, will be entrepreneur ourselves. Today's World Entrepreneur Day. So it's a good day to talk about this. and people who are engaged in writing, video editing, graphic designs, they will be having, now all of a sudden everybody is putting their videos on YouTube. Everybody has become so much of freelance photographer and videographers. If you see so this was the need. What you will do during this time? So yes, people who like to write, who do video editing, their chances, their future would be there. Same time, nursing, insurance claim, because medical facility has changed our thoughts so much that now even the insurance claim, medical management, database administration, pharmaceuticals, they will be coming into picture more. Okay, and yes, online, you see online things all of a sudden change, which is not from my students, science students, but yes, if you see how things changed during this COVID, that everything, if you have a good delivery service online, so those things have helped us. So, but same time, we have to remember that the career skills, skills are changing, but career options will not disappear. Microbiology, MSc microbiology, doing a graduate degree, that will not change. That will remain there. It is not something that they will disappear altogether. The basic things cannot change. But yes, for a time being, there would be a phase when people have to struggle. So yes. So this is my suggestion to the students, that if you're wondering that what I'll do now, so this is you have to do a brainstorming. You have to think yourself 4 questions which students all the time think, that what I'm going to do now. So it would be great if they start thinking. Like, for example, if a student, first question the student should ask to himself, that how COVID is affecting my field of interest. Is there anything my field of interest is changing? If it is changing, then how I can modify, how I can modulate, how I can fit into that. So that would be the first thing a student has to ask, that is there any, for example, if a bioinformatics student or a person who is already in bioinformatics or artificial intelligence, they are already into fields which are highly sorted, but how COVID will enhance their employability, then they have to move towards vaccine, bioinformatics, and working more towards the epitope interaction and all that. So first question a student has to ask, that is COVID affecting their field of interest? If yes, how they can fit into that. They have to understand that post-COVID, everybody has to understand what is the requirement of this. I was telling you that the market requirement would be, or requirement in the long run would be healthcare, pharmaceutical sciences, artificial intelligence, automated systems, skill-based. So yes, these are the requirements. So we have to think, in this time we can do learning based on that. And how can I see a job? That is again a long planning, but best, this is my suggestion to all the students. It is very important that how I can stay focused and energized. We don't have to get upset that, okay, I gave you the data of employability getting changing from 40 crores to 28 crores, and all of a sudden you will say, oh my God, already employed people are getting unemployed, that what will be our future? No, there are options. We have to we have to think and come up with solutions. So yes, we have to stay focused. We have to utilize that energy into some track. We have to see what we have to. So these are some of the highly sorted things, career options, which will be, biomedical engineering, diagnostic, virology, stem cell therapy and regenerative medicine, and this epidemiology and public health. Again, one of the very highly sorted, required or needed, and this are. But yes, again, people from chemistry or other fields should not get upset that, okay, what we will do. No, there are options. This is not something that it is end of the world. So as I was telling you, this is a phase. So at the same time, biomedical, you have to see that how you can merge your area of interest into some of these very highly needed fields. So that is one. Even I was as I was given introduction that I'm given this year of awareness. I'm an advisory committee of DST. So there also we were looking. We are asked for some of the proposals where you are always asked that only microbiology should not write a proposal. They should be interdisciplinary. Microbiologists collaborating with economists, microbiologists collaborating with some other disciplines. So that is what, if we at this stage, at an age of 40, we can do this interdisciplinary research, then you people who is from chemistry, you should also think that how your expertise can be mingled with some of these highly sorted, highly required fields. Again, this bioinformatics, hospital administration, immunology, pharmacology, health informatics, nanomedicine, translational medicine. These are some of the popular courses, career options, which will remain there post-COVID. So, so now, one thing which almost I have covered the options, what you have, what you can do, but thing which is very important, that it is 5 months we are at home, we are doing things, but it is good that we utilize this time. Like you people are doing, we are doing webinar and we are interacting with people. So it is also it is good time for you to see that how universities and higher institutes when they are during this COVID, what they are changing. Is there any change happening? They will keep on flashing, how you can improve your employability. Try to improve your CV, try to write a good personal statement, polish your online presence. Many students are attending the webinar and then talking with the senior peer group people. Okay, you are talking to somebody from Central University of Hyderabad, and then you are there in the interaction with that person. Face-to-face interviews are very less, so it is very important that you go for online interviews, phone interviews, and be confident in that. And online learning should be there to improve your skills. Virtual work experience you can do, as I was telling you, IITs, ICERs, many of these institutes are offering many virtual experiences, and you can take some certificate courses, do some certificate courses during this time, and read about what are the shortages, what are the shortcomings during this time, and how we can enhance, how you can fit into that. Because thing which is taken by everybody, definitely after 6 months there will be a flow of people there, and that will increase the unemployability, but you don't want that. So what next? What else we can do? Look behind the traditional, as today's world. Entrepreneur Day again. Best is if you are really you have that you have that warmth of innovation. People, they have some of the students, they are very innovative. If you have something like that, you must think of doing some startup. Even the students, you people must go and see the Niti Aayog websites and MHRD's website, where there is one MHRD's Innovation Council, where they ask startup grants exclusively from the students. So it's not something institution based. So you must go that IIC, that is MIC, MHRD's Innovation Council, MIC. You must see how they are startup grants which are exclusively called from the students. There are hackathons, there are many those things which are there, and students should start from there. If you are good in computers, if you have some innovative idea. So that is all the time we have been talking during this time, that India must become a nation of job creator, not job seeker. So yes, it's good if you have some startup ideas, innovate something and apply for grants. And it's not difficult. There was a time when if you are not associated with some faculty or something, you cannot write a grant, you cannot submit a proposal. It's not like that. You go to the Niti Aayog website, where Atal Innovation Mission is there. There are so many tinkering labs offers. So many things are there where students, if they have good ideas, they can actually collaborate. You get your own supervisors from those big Ayogs and all. So that would be very good. So students can see that, sharpen your skills with your subject. You know, this is your subject. If a person is already a postgraduate, you cannot change your subject. But yes, you have to enhance your skills at that stage. Learn some languages. It's a good time to do something if you want to do. Explore website, connect with other people, try to attend these internship webinars and all, so that you can interact with experts from your field. So these are some of the very important things which you as a student can do during this lockdown. So this is all I have. When the world is running down, you make the best what is still around. So yes, we have limited things, but yes, whatever we have to think, and we have to make use of it. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. It was very informative, ma'am. Sorry, ma'am.
Shivani, you are not audible.
Am I audible, ma'am?
Yes, yes.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. This was very informative. Actually, all the students are state of confusion that how to mold their career. It was very informative, ma'am. Thank you so much. You have also provided the information on many special online resources for learning during the pandemic, like e-PG Pathshala, e-Yantra, Shodh Ganga, which are not known to many. You have also said about changing priorities, changing careers, automation and artificial intelligence, skill-based employment, and so on. And thank you so much, ma'am. And there are some questions, ma'am. If you're okay with it, can I ask some questions?
Oh, sure. Yes.
Okay, ma'am. There is a question that is it better to go for a job or do PhD post COVID-19?
That's difficult because again, a person, Shivani, you're not audible again, but Shivani.
Ma'am?
Shivani, I just heard your first part of the question. I could not hear the second part. Was there anything? I could hear just first part.
Better to go for a job? Better to go for a job or do a PhD after the
Okay. So it's actually very tricky now because again, a person now job again, as I was saying, that even getting a job is not something very easy at this stage. People are already sitting unemployed. So if a person has some financial background, people get JRF and all that. So definitely, if you have something like that, a person getting 30,000 or 30,000 as JRF, definitely that person should go for PhD and do it. Other than that, being just sitting unemployed at home, I will say that okay, doing some research would be better. Because unemployment is not going to change very soon. So getting job would be not that as soon as this lockdown is and this pandemic situation improves and in January everybody will start getting jobs. No, it is not going to end very soon. Then only the recession will start and then we'll see the actual effects. We are not now, the economic meltdown has not started yet. From January and after 6 months of this time, then only we will see the actual recession in the economic crisis we have. So definitely, yes, if you can afford to do PhD, you're financially, because yes, you have to support yourself. So yes, doing PhD definitely, because by 23, even those lecturership positions and all, having a PhD would be must. So it's a good to do PhD, so that by the time in 2023 or something, the lecturership position, by that time net won't be that important, PhD would be more important. So yeah, if you want to go in that field of teaching and being lecturer, then doing PhD is better. Again, your priorities you have to decide. If I'm not at all interested in research, there's no point to go into doing PhD. Yeah, so yes, you have priorities you have to see.
Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, there is another question. If we are interested in research, then which field we have to opt?
What, which field we have to opt?
Which field? In which field we have to opt?
So again, it depends. As I was telling you that nowadays, these artificial intelligence, bioinformatics, try to stay in those fields which are more of, because I don't think more grants will come even for us to get established. Our labs can be established very soon for teaching, so our doing our labs and all. So it is good that if we have more of online and software type learning, artificial intelligence, bioinformatics, biomedical engineering, where you need less of resources in the lab. So those things would be better to do. Okay.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you.
Ma'am, 1 second, ma'am. I'm going to share my screen, ma'am. We are very much thank you for you coming online and guiding our students, ma'am. So this is for our satisfaction, and we are showing our gratitude towards your session, ma'am.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
So it was a very great day, ma'am, because the people are in the confusion. As you would have seen, ma'am, we have some situations nowadays recording high layoff, salary cuts became new pandemic norms, and so many organizations are downsizing ours, the students and the employees are coming out, and like McDonald's, and we have Ola, IBM, and so many people have come out of this situation. Some companies, what they are doing means they are making the people to work remotely. That also is another situation going on, ma'am. And Uber fired 3,700 frontline workers over a 3-minute Zoom call, ma'am.
Oh,
And B2B e-commerce platform Udon terminated 3,000 contractual staff without prior notice, ma'am. Social commerce startup Meesho laid off 150 executives just days after assuring them their jobs were not risked. Ola 1,400 employees, 520 employees of Zomato, rumored to be around 10,000 employees in the IBM. Companies opting a salary cut of Reliance and Oyo Rooms and TVS, ma'am. Adoption of retention, salary hike, promotion, hiring, variable pay in HUL, Johnson and Johnson, Flipkart, and Myntra, ma'am. Means people have thought of coming out of this situation. They are doing so many alternative methodologies. So the students seeing this situation, they are more in the comfort zone and they are entering into the fear zone. And as you have made us a day, they are coming to learning zone now. And after that, growth stage will be there post COVID, we are thinking, ma'am. That's what we are expecting. A nice talk, ma'am. What a material you have gathered, ma'am. It was spellbound, and you were so simultaneously that you did not take a pause in each and every slide also, ma'am. It was very continuous going on as a still water run deep. Normally, the knowledge was flowing, and it was very deeper, ma'am. As you have seen, I did not say anything that how I felt. Students, they are from microbiology and they are the placement cell members. They have come out and they were talking about that, ma'am. So it's a nice talk, ma'am. Thank you very much coming online. And we expect in future also some sessions from you, ma'am, mainly in your subject or guiding our students in another way, one or other way, and cross cultural sessions also we may organize in future, ma'am. And We thank on behalf of Palamuru University, our registrar sir, Professor Pindi Pawan Kumar sir has said sir is very busy, ma'am. Otherwise, sir would have come for the meeting. Mostly our OSD sir may join in the valedictory session, ma'am. Thank you very much, ma'am, for coming online.
Thank you very much. Thank you. It was my pleasure. Thank you.
And I like our friend Dr.M.S.R.Anjaneyulu sir to speak few words.
National service scheme also. So you can take some help from Madam in the dance.
Yes, ma'am. I am nodal officer for Ek Bharat, Shrestha Bharat, ma'am. We are looking for a collaboration. As normally you are into NSS coordinator and another Bharat Abhiyan also you are into that, ma'am. So
I am in advisory committee of Ek Bharat
advisory
Shrestha
committee.
Bharat also. I am in Ek
Yes,
Bharat
ma'am.
Shrestha Bharat also.
Yes, ma'am.
And
Punjab
yes,
is
our
I
parent
think
state.
their paid state with Andhra Pradesh. We have paid
Yeah.
with Haryana state, ma'am.
Okay, yours is Haryana. Okay, ours is Andhra. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, no
So,
problem, we can-
ma'am, if you are going to spare 5 minutes.
Yes, please. I cannot hear you. Hello. 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 Yes, now something is there. Yes. Hello.
Ma'am, there is a question from Soumya, ma'am.
Yes.
She's asking, she actually has completed her undergraduation and she's asking that whether she should do a job or post-graduation.
See, I being a PhD myself and I did my postdoc, so I don't want students just shortcuts in life is not good. Yeah, unless until you have a professional graduate degree. You know, if you are a BTech, MTech, you know, a BTech or some professional degree, graduate degree you have, then fine, you can look for job. But if it is a graduate degree with, even for that, after doing BTech, if you do MTech, your job prospects increases. So it's always it's always good to do PG, postgraduate degree. Yes, it's just a short time. As I was telling you, it's just some time. But after 2 years, you will realize, okay, it would have been better that I did my PG or did my higher education. So don't this short-sighted. Don't think it in a small 6 month. Don't think in that direction. Think what you want to do after 5 years from now. So that would be very important for students to realize that what they want, where they want to be after 5 years. Then only your thought, what you want to do in life will be clear. You know, so doing a job is just you are earning some money in the beginning, but after 3 or 4 years doing that monotonous job, you will be okay. What am I doing now? So yes, you have to think. For me, yes. If it is not a professional bachelor's, then all the time doing PG, doing higher studies is always good. Yes. Is it?
Thank you, ma'am. There is one more question from Rita Rathi.
Yes, yes, Shivani.
She's asking that I have masters in law. Should I go for PhD?
Masters in law, you are the good. You know, law people are, even if you go for register for a PhD, side by side you can get associated with those. There are bar associations and all. So there is always, it's not something that you have to do a PhD. You have to be in the lab, and you have to register yourself, and even your work and your research theme can be something which you can do your work, what you are doing as a lawyer. You can think of any topic which is what your if your expertise is if your expertise is criminal law, whatever. So based on that, you can do your practice as well as you can do your opt for the research topic of that same field. So yeah, that can go together. Anything else, Shivani?
Thank you so much, ma'am.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Here we have ma'am, one question is there, ma'am, in chat box.
Yes.
Naveen is saying that he has a doubt about self-establishment of new research institute and with scope on NEP 2020. He says.
This education policy, so we still have to, we are not very clear how we are going to do things for that. Yeah, I'm not very expert till now. I have not gone through it very nicely, and I cannot tell you much about NEP right now, because it's still, I'm trying to see what are the things for a higher education student, what are things for us.
Yes.
Institutes are. So I'm still not very much familiar what we can do. Yes, but definitely these in the beginning, the outline, when I see this NEP is more of skill-based learning, which we are thinking now. This is the time when we were talking about the skill-based learning at graduate and postgraduate level. But this NEP has brought the skill-based learning and from a school level. So those things are definitely, those were earlier only things of international schools. If you talk about some international schools, only they used to have minimal writing and more learning. But now even a government school will have that kind of curriculum where it will be more of learning based than just writing and just doing cramming and all. So yes, some of these things are very good, but yeah, still for higher education, how this will be helpful, I still have to study that. I'm still not very familiar what all things would be there.
And what about this new research institute, ma'am? Means they can set up.
Yeah, there are policies. We are because that National Research Foundation, NRF, right? There is a, like in US we have National Science Foundation, NSF. Similar, on basis of that only, even MHRD has made this research foundation, which will look into making some research institutes. So that would be again finances. We have to see how HEFA and these higher education institutes will fund and all that. That has to be seen. Okay.
My personal request, ma'am, if anybody is interested in doing a PhD under your guidance, is there any chance, ma'am?
Okay, so thing is that in our university we opt if a person has a JRF, then only we take. That's the problem. Other than that, if a person has project, I can hire a JRF, and then they can get converted into a PhD scholar. So yes, if something like that happens, yeah, you're most welcome to come and join me. No problem at all.
Because cross learning will be there from state to state, and if at all students
Definitely.
who are curious to do such a thing and try to be innovative, and they want to do a greater thing, like as you have been doing, ma'am, all the years you have been into NSS, you have been into co-curricular and curricular, and you are the youngest professor in your university, and it is very audible. So everyone will get inspired and they get motivated. So
Definitely. You
they can
anytime. Yeah.
reach. Yes,
Yes.
ma'am. If
Yes. They can reach
we
me.
are going
Yes. No
to.
problem.
Yes, ma'am. We are going to share your, with your permission, we are going to share your email ID in our
Yes.
Telegram group so
Yes.
that
Definitely.
they will be communicating with you over the emails, ma'am.
Yes.
So
Definitely. You're
some
most
people may
welcome.
be extrovert, they can speak, but some people may be introverts,
They can write.
they can come out. But no
Yes.
one in the world is an introvert, ma'am. Somewhere or other, they will be expressing their views, but
Yes.
some
The way
people,
of
they may
expressing be
not talk in
different.
there. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Thank you
fine.
very much, ma'am. We
Sure.
are going
Thank
to
you.
take some 5 minutes break, quick round of break, and we are going to come back as our next speaker, sir, is going to join. So
Okay. Thank you very
everyone
much.
can
Thank you.
stay online. We are going to take 5 minutes break. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Chetan Srivatsa సార్ వచ్చారు ఎవరు చేసింది నేను కావాలి 6 వెయిటింగ్ ఉంది కానీ చిన్న ఈవినింగ్ అయ్యే వరకు
So welcome back. Sir is on joining. So as you know the situation that final year students are understandably experiencing a lot of panic and uncertainty when it comes to their employment prospects, as they will be graduating during the coronavirus pandemic. We had a discussion with a recruitment bureau and marketing director to find out what students can do boost their employment prospects during this time and how the graduate application process is like to be affected by this crisis. So that things we'll be knowing in this session. I welcome Dr. Chetan Srivatsa, sir. So sorry is going to guide us regarding the art subjects. As up to now we have seen the science subjects, career guidance. Good morning, sir. So now I request Chinmay, student of microbiology, Palamuru University, to introduce second session speaker, Dr. Chetan Srivatsa, sir. Thank you.
Good morning, sir. Let us invite next speaker, Dr. Chetan Srivatsa, sir, Associate Professor, School of Management Studies, Universities of Hyderabad. He is the youngest PhD holder in the Faculty of Management, Osmania University. He has relinquished his role as proctor of the University of Hyderabad. He is also a co-chairperson, Placement Guidance and Advisory Bureau, University of Hyderabad. He is also the coordinator postgraduate diploma in energy management. He has reviewed the South Asian edition, 13th edition of the famous books by Kotter, Father of Marketing, published by Pearson Public. He has reviewed the South Asian edition, Management, authored by Professor Janat Shah, Professor IIM Bangalore. He is a recipient of many prestigious awards. MTC Global Outstanding Management Teacher Award 2019 by Management Teachers Consortium, AIMS. Academy of Global Business Advancement coveted American Honor 2019, AGPA Distinguished Global Scholar. Best Professor in Marketing by ICBM, SBI and Academy of Management. Icon Dronacharya of the year 2018 by International Knowledge and Opportunities, New York. Distinguished alumni by Badruka Group of Institutions. He has to his credit about 40 plus papers and articles published in quite a few articles in leading national and international journals. Now I request Dr. Chetan Srivatsa, sir, to please start the webinar, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and thanks a lot for beautiful introduction. So I wish to wish you all a great morning, and it's pleasant being here. I know it's a really difficult time, so on and so forth, and all of us are going through so many issues, but let us hope that this particular thing actually makes it wonderful for our interaction to go on next an hour or so. So I wish to take you across some of the kind of thing, what are the careers and all those things which are happening and so on and so forth, and move in and see that we are going to thing to go. And well, when Mr. Arjun, Dr. Arjun came to me and asked me for this particular thing, I said, yes, I'm there because something which is basically for the sake of the students and academics and all, I'm always there. So, and Mahbub Nagar happens to be a love for me because I had my middle education there, 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th in Mahbub Nagar district. So my mom was a professor there. Getting into a bit delayed. I had a meeting in the morning, and that took over a few minutes extra. So to go ahead, I wish that this session goes in. There are some internet connectivity issues because this rain here, and I do have backup connections across, but I wish what you have, you can put them at the end of the session, or you can put them in chat window later. We'll talk about them and move in. So once again, thank the Palamuru University and all the officials and the Department of Management and Commerce for the invitation for me to deliver a talk on preparedness for career prospects during and post COVID-19 today and to go on. So before we really begin, you know, let me thank all the COVID warriors or the corona warriors, or we talk about them, the doctors, the healthcare professionals, the sanitation workers, the NGOs, the police, the military, the social service, the anybody who is directly or indirectly associated to help the people who are with the COVID kind of thing and making our lives comfortable, and all those people who have been making our life easier by helping us to supply, all those essentials, commodities, everything at our homes, or who are risking their lives to go on. So thank you one and all for all that, and we are no, too much thankful to you all. Because of you, we are basically able to have this kind of sessions and be safe and feel safe to go on. So without thanking you all, our life would not be really meaningful. So thank you one and all, and for making our life safe. Now let us move ahead. This particular session, basically, I usually have a disclaimer which talks about whatever is being discussed here is absolutely for pure academic purpose. It doesn't mean to hurt anybody, any sentiment, religion, region, caste, community, creed, whatever it might be. I apologize if at all anyone is hurt, and I really do not mean to either unintentional or intentional to go, and it's merely coincidental. And whatever I'm using here, I thank all the sources, the ones who have done the photos, pictures, and all. No, I may have missed citing some sources, but I'm thanking them all. Since it's a pure academic purpose, I think that's okay for us to move on. So, COVID-19 has been affecting and impacting almost every sphere of our life. When you talk about it to go, and it's just not our careers to go, and right from the way we are living, right from the way we are basically interacting, and we are basically trying to do. And so all of us basically are into these issues to move. So while you talk about it to go, and while you are having these kind of things to go, uh, the impact on careers have been there. I mean, if it really is painful when I see a lot of reports which are there, which talks about we being seeing people losing their jobs. I was reading some report. In India itself, almost around couple of crores of people have lost their jobs or are into doldrums to go. And it's just not 2 crores of people; it's their families. If I assume that it's 5 members together, so it has almost 10 crores of people who are into difficult times. Apart from the people who are underprivileged, marginalized, so on and so forth. So, COVID somehow has been affecting every one of us in a very, very tough way. And people who are working, IT, or you talk about jobs and all, they are also missing their things. And people, and especially the teachers, I know when I was seeing the fate of teachers, it really pains you. Somehow in our country, we have moved from the teachers being respected to teachers being the least important kind of thing to go. So the access fall on teachers of many institutions. I was seeing some circulars from some universities also which says hire teacher for 6 months and kind of thing to go. And many people have been removed from services. Teachers are getting into doing menial jobs, and that's very difficult because they have to make a living. After all, we need to survive. So but when you talk about that to go, and so the impact on career has seen when everywhere, right off the to go. And for example, domestic workers, people who are selling on streets, people who are into it to go, and everywhere entrepreneurs, small petty vendors, even big vendors, and all are really into doldrums to go. And well, that particular thing is happening. It's very painful, and many of us are not able to support, even though we want to support our sub staff or people who work for us. Well, at least we are able to do for our mates and the drivers to go. And but when you talk about many people at individual level, I've seen that most of us are considerate as in humans, and we are trying to help our people who have been helping us all throughout. But at an organizational level, when I talk about industry, when I talk about things to go on, we usually have a lot of people who are basically having a problem because companies are not supporting their employees. I mean, they're being used as only a part of revenue generations. They are only the media for them to make money. But the humanitarian thing is lost. So just not even reducing their salaries and all to go on, and they're removing them from the job. And at this time where they don't get a job to go on, it becomes very difficult. One way is people who have to just keep their thing to go on. And well, you have a keep to go on. Another part is those who are to make a career. So everybody who is building a career or a mid of a career, and every one of us are affected to go on. And to move. So let us look into how COVID has done. What do you do? And so finding a right job. One thing I always believe is right job and building a great career wasn't easy even before COVID-19. If you actually understand, when I was the placement officer for my school for almost 6-7 years kind of thing, and I know that it's very difficult getting a right job and building a career wasn't easy. I'll tell you, I'm talking about 2006 to 2000, almost 12, 13. I was in thing, and now I had the kind of co-chair replacement bureau of my university. So I see that basically you always have a issue with making your career. So it's just not COVID, it's just not COVID, which is really making a difference. So it is really difficult to have a career and a job to go in. So let us see how this COVID adds up extra kind of thing which we have to do in for our thing to move. So World Bank beautifully said the choices that government makes to restart their economic engine, that's what we have to do. And so somehow we all felt that when numbers were very less and the government said lockdown, when numbers were less we started lockdown 1, lockdown 2 to go, and now when the numbers are swelling like anything, we say unlock. We are coming out of it, and people, there are a lot of good, bad, ugly about the governments and everything to go. And I mean, people have a choice to make a comment, but if you actually understand, this is important. We have thought that it's going to be easy life, but it's not easy. COVID has not been so kind to all of us. So we have to restart our economy. Somehow the people who are missing onto their job, people who are doing into across to go in. So there has to be an unlock down, but people have to be clear about it. Government has unlocked it, but not the COVID or the corona to go. And so we have to understand that when government has done relaxed kind of thing, it is not relaxed. The COVID has not relaxed its attack. So you need to be careful, use all those basic things to go, which have been a part of it to move. So while you talk about it to go on, when this COVID is on, governments have started their thing. So it's not about government being bad. It's not being government being this to go on. It is basically the government is helpless actually, because you need to have something to go on, because tomorrow when this particular thing goes, and it actually becomes a difficult part to move. And so the World Bank also says you should start your economic engine, restart your economic engine. Is restart including long-term social, economic, and environmental co-benefits, etc. They seek to achieve. Most of the governments are basically into to seek to achieve through stimulus investments. Because you need to do, and the government, we could have seen the package announced by the government. 20 lakh crores, 5 lakh crores. I mean, whatever it might be, it looks so big kind of thing to go in. But I know it has to reach the people who have to go in. So that's an government's thing which they should look in and see that yes, they are basically into seeing that it reaches the one who is supposed to go in and move across. So keeping that in view, while you talk about it to move. So this basically actually creates an issue to go. So when the government an extra thing to go, there should be an extraordinary consequential in ensuring that they build back stronger and better. So we need to see that we are going to build up a better and strong kind of thing which actually goes. And so when we talk about this to move in the impact of careers in times of COVID-19, this big thing, career, the changes, the growth, the future. We are in a crossroad. We are unable to actually make it, how it goes, what it goes on and so forth with that particular thing. Go, and while you are having those career choices, it becomes very, very, important for us to basically, move in and do across. So while you are basically into these kind of things to go, so careers in times of COVID, we are at a crossroad. Let's see how it goes, what it goes to go in and move across. So the impact, most of we have seen when we talked about COVID-19 outbreak, nobody thought it's going to be so bad, it's going to be so big and all kind of thing to go in, but impact has left the entire world in a big doldrum. It's just not a loss of lives, it's very, very thing, it's people lost their loved ones, and the government, the countries lost their people to go in. and so on and so forth, who always have a thing to move. And so, I mean, all the questions will be answered at the end of the session. So please be patient, note down your thing or put it in your chat box to move. So while we talk about it to go, the impact basically which creates on all your jobs, which has actually goes and is very, very big and very difficult to move. Now, so one thing is that second part is, many businesses have lost their survival. They have to close down their things. I have seen a lot of small businesses, but even big corporates, some businesses really goes. And so with the COVID coming in, while we understand and make it that this particular thing is creating things. So people have to start thinking about continuity planning, because well, we talk about continuity planning, which actually goes in and moves. So that actually talks about things to go across. So while to go and people start talking about how do I continue to be in our business, so you have to think in and go, and so as the careers also to move on. So the career insights, I mean, is terrible, and to go and how do you go into those career insights and how it goes. And so making a career change starts with knowing yourself. That's one I always believe in, that I always tell my people that when you are making a career change or career choice, start with knowing yourself. Know yourself what it can be there, but plan a career across to go on. But it can be easy to lose sight when transition is sudden and unwelcome. So that's what we thought about. This transition of COVID that comes as that, it is very, very sudden and unwelcome. And I know it has been one of the worst hit kind of thing across thing. And people, when we had a tough time to understand, because the companies were having given offers to the students pre-COVID, and they were unable to honor them. They have come with renegotiating the packages. They have come with so many things to go, and it's just not a small thing to go. So it's so sudden and so unwelcome that it becomes very difficult to plan your careers to move. So now the issue is here, looking for a job has been very difficult. Could be a change in job, could be a thing to go in the careers, the job search, and the COVID-19. What are you supposed to know best? That's very important, because with this particular thing, what are the areas where you can look at a job? Where are the rosy kind of thing where you can at least have some careers to go, and alternative careers, so on and so forth. So looking for a job has become very difficult, COVID time, because getting a job is losing a job has become easy. Looking a job has become very difficult. So while you talk about to go on, while you're looking into the job search career and all, we look into it and coming moments that how do we do in an order goes in across. The COVID-19 has changed the entire world. You'll be really surprised. When you look at those figures, look at the things to go on across the world, all the developed nation, at least thank God we are, at least our numbers are low. Whatever is the reason, we talk about less tests, we talk about so many things to go on, thing to move. But when you talk about the numbers, when I'm really panicked when we saw these numbers across developed nations, where they really have the biggest kind of best medical facilities, best kind of education, best kind of thing to go on. But we have an isolation. We have an isolation. We really can't have an social distance. Practical, it is impossible. I mean, actually saying, when you talk about to go on, you would have seen that a lot of people have basically filed an unemployment claim forms in US and other parts of the world, where they have an unemployment allowance to go on. So a lot of them have lost their jobs, and for their survival, they are filling those unemployment claim forms. So it's a world phenomenon. It's just not our India. So don't be panicky. We are all, with the entire humanity is going through the same thing. It's tough, but we'll surely overcome into it. That actually has to move in and go across. If you look into that, unemployment may stay. That's an bad news. But you always have to understand that when you understand the reality, you can actually go on. Because actually, even before COVID was affecting us, I hope you are all aware that we were actually going through an economic downturn into the whole world, and you are really had were having so many things to go. And well, you had that economic downturn, and the services, you have a 6% kind of unemployment through 2021, which actually makes it there to go on. So unemployment rate is going to be there, and it's gone. Even if you rebound with a lot of policies, a lot of things to go on, you would have some issues to go. That actually makes the whole difference to move. So remember, it's going to be tough, but when you are things are tough, you actually would do a better job when you work hard to move. The COVID-19, you'd have seen, that's very difficult. I don't know, you could have seen those pictures, those moments to go. It has been very tough, and the careers get started now. That's something which has to do. And for if you are a student, if you are one who is looking for a career, it's the right time to plan your career. It's the right time to do. And because it's a golden opportunity that you are given some free time. You are at your homes. Look at, when you have difficulties. Somebody beautifully said, well, in difficulties also there's an opportunity. So look for those opportunities. Look for where you can actually make a mark and to go in, or get time to build up yourself. We'll see what do you do in the next few minutes to go. So start your careers. That's what we are trying to talk about, it to move in and go across. I hope we are all able to appreciate what is happening, and you're able to follow. In case you have some issues, please message us in the chat box, or coordinator would get back to me. So employees are rethinking their careers. The statistics say that 1 in 4 people are thinking for a career change. Because COVID-19 has affected their jobs so difficultly. You have to think of changing your career line itself. For example, who is somebody into retail, who is somebody into a domain where you are going to be into interacting with people, moving around and all that becomes very difficult, and you have your job becomes tough to go on. So a lot of people are looking for a change in career that's going to add up the numbers of people who are going to be a competition to you to get to go, and they come with an experience, they come with things to go, but you have to go. And so you have to make a choice. A right choice could be a thing, green choice or a right choice which actually goes. And a career choice is a very, very difficult phenomenon here. How do you make a choice to go in, and what kind of choice you as a student or as an individual you are going to make with your careers to move now? uh, this is beautifully said. Do you have anything in computing? That's what is the basic kind of careers which people are looking in, because that's the computing part which actually goes. And well, you talk about the thing to go. You have the computing kind of careers and the careers which goes. And so now you basically, as a student, it's the ability of student and graduate to harness the power of internet. I remember when internet was in the beginning stage in 2000 in India. So we had a difficulty kind of thing where we had to go to first of all, the computer at home was difficult. You'll be surprised. I'll let you an important fact. You'll get a shock of your lives. I wrote a book on information technology, which way back in 2000, and that particular thing is prescribed by almost around 70 plus universities in the country and across the world. It is available in US, UK, and UAE, and all. It's also prescribed in SAARC countries, Sri Lanka, and all their syllabuses. I wrote that book. When I wrote that book, I didn't have a computer of my own. That's the biggest thing, that to go. And we had to develop a computer. Cost of a computer was almost a lakh of rupee. It was so difficult for our middle class families to afford to buy a computer in those times. Even today we have the similar phenomenon, though the cost has come down, but a lot of people find it difficult because we have our own issues to move. So when I wrote my book, it doesn't not having a computer didn't prevent me to get into a net information technology. So that's what I'm trying to tell you all. Today you have that power, and I wish I would have been a student today. Beautiful times to go on. But when you talk about to go, when you do a research, I had to struggle. We had to go to internet. You have to go to a cyber cafe, and I remember you have a dial-up connection. Now with a broadband, I have a couple of broadbands at home, direct line connections, and we have 4 Wi-Fi connections. So still, I have a problem with the internet. Those times we had a dial-up connection where it was so difficult. If you are able to see me talk here, it would take at least 10 minutes for you to actually get to know my video. I don't know, to start bits pieces. You always had that loading, buffering. It would have been eternity. You are not seen that kind of things to go. And now we are live. It's so easy. So you have an ability to go in and to harness the power of internet. That's where you actually do. And just don't use your internet for social networking. Don't use for chatting. Don't use for only gossiping. Don't use for gaming. Don't use for internet making your careers to go. So that's what is the thing to go on. Now, earlier careers were basically, like this. You had a career path. You're born, you have a move into a career. You are there in your career, and that career basically moves in, and you survive your career till you leave this world. So beginning to end, you are in one career, and that career actually goes in and moves across to go in. But today the career path is different, and the future career path is there. You are born and you move to career 1, career 2, career 3, and you are confused what career I'm going to get in, because there's a huge shift which actually happens. The careers move, and you can see see the path of career. It was a straight line in a beautiful career which actually moved in. Today's career path is zazi, and you have those ups and downs, and you have different kind of careers to go on, and finally before you know leave this world. So while that particular thing is on, you can see this career which actually goes, and so career path is not so easy today, neither in the future it's become difficult. So you be prepared for this uncertainties. Life itself is uncertain, so career is not a big deal. So have that particular thing to go on, and make it thing to go. So once upon a time, you know I wish to tell you this. Mom and dad, I decided to be a teacher. Oh, that was a terrific, great idea, and good for you, sweetheart. And people were trying to be happy about it. I remember when I decided to be a teacher, it was so difficult. My parents were happy because my mom was a teacher. We come from a family of teachers to go in, but a lot of my people had a problem because I was a good in IT. I was a MBAs and all those. They said, "What you want to be a teacher?" That becomes a difficult kind of thing. You're so good and so things. You want to get in teacher. I mean, as if you mean to say that teaching a good individual shouldn't enter into a teaching. I had a passion for it, so I planned a career to go on. But today, if somebody says I have decided to be a teacher, you look at the reaction of your parents. Say, are you insane? Absolutely. Nobody can live on that salary. I understand. At least I'm fortunate that my pay packet is good, thanks to new pay commissions. But when I joined University of Hyderabad, my pay was terribly low. Actually, you'll be surprised. I mean, I started almost when University of Hyderabad, I think 2006. I was getting around somewhere around 18,000-19,000 rupees. What something which is there. And I place my students with at least two times the pay packet for my students when I was the placement officer at the time. At one point, there was a time where I placed them at uh, you know a very very level where he was getting a pay packet more than and almost double my vice chancellor. So somebody said, my God, a student at 22, 23 is earning more than a vice chancellor of a prestigious university. you know and imagine that's what teachers are. So when you talk about to go on, so well, the thing to go on, so you got into that and goes in. So your thing is that there's a shift in the thought. I mean, this is an illustration to say how people are basically trying to have a shift in the careers and thought process to go on now. So career advices for the young futures, you have a career counseling to go. So you need to upgrade your operating system. What operates you actually? You need to upgrade that kind of thing to go. So entire thing which runs into your thing to go. The career counseling talks about while you have this to move, this particular thing, you know while you talk about it to go. So career counseling, you need to upgrade your operating system. That's what happens and moves in. So upgrade whatever you are doing, and that's the most important part. You upgrade your skills, upgrade your things, so that you will be in sync with what's happening around the world to move. So uh, at a career to go on. So you have no experience, no skill, a poor grasp of reality. So you better get into consulting. Have you ever tried a career in counseling kind of thing, the consulting to go on? So people are getting into some their career. So if you don't have an experience, no skill, and then still you have a thing, but you have to get into what you are good at to move. So you know so somebody said beautifully, should I include this on my resume? Because I think that this is what is going to happen. The most important thing here. In high school, I was most voted most likely to marry his computer. I mean to say, you are into those digital kind of person who has been into digital. Love and to go in. So this today's it's the in thing. If you are good at technology, if you are good at information technology, you are the hot cake kind of thing. So go in. So that's what I go in. So that's an important skill. If you are good in that particular thing, that actually moves in and goes. you know so when you talk about thing, so this is the career which you growth you have to go on. So this is the career where you ought to be there, but you are here. So somewhere you are there, you have planned your career and you go on. This is your career map. You want to reach here and you are just here to go on. So well, you have a lot of ladders to climb, a lot of things to go on. So there are a lot of things which will take you into these kind of career maps to go on. So you want to come to where you want to make a career choice and work across and plan to move. So diversity career fair. So when you are having a career fairs to go and you would have seen job mela, job things to go and you attend those things. I believe even in University of Hyderabad we did a job mela kind of thing for our students. So while you're talking about to go diversity career fair, so no, when you talk about, do you think they'll treat us like dogs? I mean, that's what is the basic idea to go. And so when you talk about it to go, and this is what actually goes, you are getting into a thing to go. I remember, that's what is the basic idea, which actually drives and makes everybody to go in and move. So my qualifications for a chef, while I make a good Caesar salad, when you look into that, when you do, and so that's the basic resume and what are the skills, qualifications and everything to go on. You have to know that, you need to have those kind of skill sets which are very important for a job which you are going to apply, which you are going to do. And so that actually makes a huge difference. So plan your qualification, plan your thing to go on, which actually makes it to go. So career guidance is discover themselves. So that's what is the basic idea here. So I'm trying to tell you this particular thing: discover yourself, discover your path to go. And I think I'll take some time. So no, we'll overshot sometime. So that's not gonna be there. So while you talk about it to go, and so you have to have an thing where you understand yourself to make a career. So a career guidance is all about showing you how actually you can make a career. It depends on your personality, it depends on your skills, depends on your attitude, depends on your attitude, so on and so forth. That actually makes a huge difference. So plan your carefication, plan your thing to go. And this goes, and good news is that I got rid of the virus. Now we are all looking for that. We are talking about God, this COVID virus should go off. This COVID virus should go off this world. Got rid of that kind of thing to go. And so that's where your entire kind of thing goes. And so if you are doing some job, I think that's what is the basic idea which actually goes in and moves. So COVID-19, I talk about this is a statement issued by an corporate for the recruitment and things to go on. But I thought I should talk about this to go on. Coronavirus talks about you know and business continuity. So COVID-19 has affected every aspect of our lives. So this is a statement by a corporate. It's beautifully written. So COVID-19 has affected every aspect of our life. Our priority is the safety of our people. That's what I have been advocating also always. Our people, their families, and those who are interested in joining our team. So everybody actually to go. And as we have adapted into new ways of working, so we say new normal. That's what we are trying to talk about. A new normal should happen, and we should get to live with a COVID kind of thing. Now we should see how well we adjust with them and how well we do, and how well we modify our thing, adapt ourselves to them. So new ways of working. So we have made some adjustment to our interviewing process. We appreciate your flexibility and patience. So when everything has changed, our classes, you'd have seen the seminar would have been wonderful. I would have driving myself to Mahbub Nagar. I would have loved that drive. It's a very beautiful place, and on the way it's so nice. Well, you drive in across and you reach a place where you have your childhood memories, those childhood memories, because you have spent time there and to go in. So while you talk about to move, you have that kind of thing. But we have got into a new normal. I'm in my room, in my home, and I'm interacting with you all. So we have adjusted ourselves. Uh, we have somewhere made a compromise. Somewhere we have made this kind of thing to go on, so that we can deliver what we want to do, and then how to go across to go. So we appreciate that flexibility. So we should be flexible. That's what we are trying to talk about. Being flexible is the most important kind of thing which actually moves and goes across. Now, one thing I should always tell: never stop learning. So you pass or you fail. You'd have seen government coming with so many issues about examinations, coming with so many things. This is examinations are there or not there. You pass them, you fail them. Yes, we don't say you fail them. Okay. So but you want them everybody to pass, and you look at their last semester grades, you do one grading analysis, you do something to go, and so on and so forth. It's okay, it doesn't matter. I always tell people, passing in the examination is a big thing. I mean, I'm also an examination coordinator of my school. So when I talk about it, I always believe, I tell my students, you'll be surprised, I tell my student that don't worry, if you fail in an examination, it's okay, it doesn't matter. uh, because if everybody passes an examination, why the hell we have an examination? Somebody has to fail, right? So you failed today, it's okay, it doesn't make a difference. So while you talk about to go on, so if you have that attitude in life, failing is not an important thing. After failing, how do you come back? That's what we say, come back to go. And so never stop learning. That's what we need to do. And you never should stop learning while this particular thing happens and when they go on. So COVID-19 has been very difficult. So exploring the understanding this pandemic is very important. Look at that way, what areas it has done and what could be there, and so on and so forth. Everything goes well and move. And so never stop learning, because the moment you stop learning, everything goes off. So even I am learning, every day I learn. I mean, for your session today, I wanted to go, so I thought I'll do it. And I have a class after this now for my school. We have started our online sessions since yesterday. Yesterday was my first class, and today is a couple of hours of class. So I know it's very difficult for us to plan. How do I sustain my students' interest? How do I do? And so you need to make your class more interesting, more difficult, and nothing to go on. So I've been doing it. So I mean, never stop learning. I never do it. Every talk of mine, every presentation of mine would be totally different. To go in, because I never stop learning. That's what I believe. You keep learning. That's what I goes, and so never stop that and moves in. So the jobs and skill shortage, that's what it goes. And so there are a lot of jobs with the skills are shortage, which actually goes. And so we're trying to talk about essential service heroes, health sector, safety sector, social kind of thing to go on, and supply chain and so on and so forth. There are a lot of jobs which are there available. The shortage of skills are there. We talk about Skill India movement with enhancing your skills, so on and so forth. That particular thing which actually goes. And so there are a number of jobs and the shortage is there. I remember I was doing looking at the employment employability kind of thing. When you talk about employability to move, you know the employability move talks about how do I actually do, and the shortage of skills will take you to across. So they say you are having graduation, you have a post graduation, you are qualified, you're non-qualified, so the thing is, but you might be employable, you are educated but not employable. That really creates a huge difference to go, and goes into move. So I really emphasis on this. Choose a job you love, and you'll never have to work a day in your life. So that's what is the important thing. I've taken a job which I love, so I'm basically happy about it. So I never feel that I'm working something, to go, and so never feel myself to be tired to go on, and so on and so forth. So choose a job you love, not because of anything else, so that in the next 30, 40 years you are living with that particular job. Don't sulk into your job and do. And so you are supposed to get into the job which you love, not a job which you get in. So choose a career that suits you. That's very important. Please choose a career that suits you, that your passion is. So discover your passion, what you are passionate about. So that particular thing should be a career. So if you are choosing a job which you are passionate about, that makes you the best in your job to go in. So I mean, I had a passion for teaching, got into it. So when I do that particular thing, I actually love and do it, and you're going to see the results to move. So choose a career that suits you, and you look at that one which you have a passion to go in. Because when you talk about thing, job, education, and careers are different, to go. And so plan your job, your education, and your career such a way that you are having a balance between all of them, and you are basically trying to talk about having somebody who would get into it to go. So choose a right job, choose a right education, choose right career. That actually makes a huge difference to go. uh, all of us want to have a dream job. I always talk about that, and we also introduced a placement thing and a dream offer kind of thing, because we have placement rules and all. I started this dream company offer as a part of my placement contribution to the university. So that policy is followed by entire university, which I started in 2016. Letters were followed up, because we are trying to talk about having a dream job so that people would get into it. So what is your dream job? That's very important. So, and when you talk about this dream job, this dream job will take you things. So dream, that's more important. Dr. Kalam beautifully said, dream is not that which keeps you, which you see while you're sleeping. It is one which keeps you awake. So basically, to do and have a dream, work for your dream. That's more important. Have a dream job. You say, I would like to have this as a job. You can also have a dream to be an entrepreneur, to start a business venture of yours, to start a startup. You have a startup India. A lot of efforts are there which actually move and go across and makes a huge difference to go. Now choosing a career, one of the hardest and most exciting choices you'll make is your career. But one thing is for sure, a chance, what you say, and also plays a still you have a lot in your hands to move. So rule number, choose a career. Start that, right? Are you able to hear? Yeah. Uh, I hope it's audible.
Yes, sir.
I hope, yeah,
Yes, sir.
yeah. I think there was some problem, and you know, I think we are back. Yeah. Are you able to see?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now, are you able to see?
Yes, sir. We are choosing a career slide we are seeing, sir.
Place a thing to go, and so no problem. Yeah, sure, good, good, good. Yeah. So when you talk about to go and well, you say choosing your career. So rule number one, choose a career that something which you really like to do. That's very important. So it actually goes, and so when you talk about it to go something which you really want to do, and then you do. So do a research and choose your carefully and thoughtfully. So when you talk about it to go and no, look at the kind of thing which is there for you. So basically, do a research, look at what actually goes and how it goes on and so forth, and choose your career very, very thoughtfully, because just don't get into something everybody's going. You don't follow, there's a sheep kind of mentality. Everybody's going this direction. I'll go. No, don't do that. Do a research, look at your skills, and get make that's very important. Knowing what knowing what you value most, and your priorities. So when you talk about, so don't worry, your career also will have these kind of ups and downs and things to go. And while you talk about it to move, so while you go, think on if your priority is all about helping others, if your priority is all about getting prestige, high incomes, flexible working hours. Look at those things, what you are having a priority about. So while that particular priority makes a huge thing to go on. So while you talk about it to move and go across, are able to see the uh, are you able to see the screen?
Now it's working.
Yeah. So while you have,
Double
yeah,
click.
you're able to see
Yes,
it
sir.
now.
Yes, sir.
So yeah. So, I mean, I think there's some connectivity issue. So, I think that's okay. So, when you talk about to go and helping others, if you are prestige for you and you are looking at high incomes, you have flexible working hours, so on and so forth. So, what you do here is establish your and align your values, priorities, and career choices and a career goals for motivation. That actually goes, and so put your value system, because that's what you want to have, and because next 30, 40 years you're going to live, put your priorities, make a career choice and career goal for your motivation that actually goes in and moves across. So surviving in a VUCA world, that's what we have been talking about. This huge cry about this. The world is absolutely going in VUCA. It's volatile, it's uncertain, it is chaotic, and so on and so forth to go on. So complex, ambiguous, so on and so forth. So you are always have some control over your career. So remember, while you're trying to talk about thing to go on, you always have some control over your career. Make that particular thing to go. You must accept risks are going to be there. It will be there. Plan your career to future to advance your career to go. And so you create those risk mitigation plans in case you have this unforeseen risks to go, and you have a plan A, plan B, plan C kind of thing. So I was telling somebody other day also in a talk, if your plan A fails, it doesn't matter, plan B fails, doesn't matter, because you still have almost 24 more alphabets in your thing to go on. So don't worry, plan A, plan B, plan C to plan Z. If that also doesn't work, you have a plan A B, A C, A D, that actually goes. And so don't worry, if your plan fails, you plan for your future to go on. A college degree does not guarantee you employment. I'm very sure about it. I always tell my people, have those skill sets to maturity to go on. So getting a degree, getting a thing to go, which actually doesn't make a thing to go. You are basically trying to talk about having to go and which actually works and move. So that's what every time you now you learn a new skill, because if your skill is lost, you're gone. So keep doing that particular thing, because that particular thing which actually goes and goes across. Please remember, your knowledge is your power. Improve your knowledge, improve your thing, and that particular thing I would talk about thing to go on. I'll be answering all the questions at the end of the session to go on. We are almost nearing them to go on. So smart career planning, what are the factors to consider? So while you're doing do's and don'ts, so explore a number of careers and majors. Look at that kind of thing to go on. You have made a choice, self from people who are aware of these kind of things. So do that particular thing. You get involved. That's more important. Let the career be not casual, which happens to you. You get involved into your career. You get involved into your career. You get involved and seriously and look into it. Get advice from people in your target occupation. You want to become a manager, you want to get into service industry, you want to get into retail, you want to get into technology, you want to get in quality, you want to get in something. Go into that and take some advices from them. You ask them, you want to do civil services, you talk to a civil servant, you talk to somebody in there and see what is that you require. Get those advices. That will be going a long run to go and follow your passion. That will take you big. And end of the day, to try something new. So that goes. And so don't go and who started technology, using technology into teaching. Way back when it was there, I started with an LC OHPs. Then we started with LCDs. We started with marketbooks. Talked about now today we talk about this kind of thing to go. And so technology, try to dare to do something new which actually goes. And even when you talk about it, my presentations, I do it completely different. I have something to go on, because I mean, it's okay. Do something major, just because you have a major. Just because you have a major, just because you have a major. People to make a choice. When you do I take marketing? Do I take finance? Do I take HR? Do I take operations? It all depends upon your thing to move. So what do you talk about it to go and is all about hello. Are you able to see the
Sir,
screen?
yeah, no, sir.
Yeah. Yeah. Are you able to see the screen?
No, sir, not yet. Maybe loading. I think.
Are you able to
No, sir.
So, sorry, exit one, nothing check.
Exit. Sorry, is there?
Yeah.
So we wait for sir to resume in. So it's very hard to predict what tomorrow will look like in the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic. But one thing is for certain, big changes are coming to our world at large and specifically to the workforce. And while we can't say for certain exactly what those changes will be, we do have some ideas. Here we have a close look at the insights to what to expect moving forward along with tips for today's students. Now sir has been discussing looking to future proof their careers. So now it's time to gain new skills in this lockdown. Using your time in quarantine to your advantage is a great way to get ahead of the game. As we were discussing earlier with a recruiter, he recommended that students to complete a SWOT analysis, identifying personal strengths and weakness and the opportunities and threats in the workplace at the moment. Only then students can have a clear idea of which skills need to be improved. The big question interviewers will ask is, what did you do in lockdown? So much like taking a year out, employers will want to know what did you do that's put you in a better position. So what you choose to do will vary from person to person, but you should focus on building your CV now. So this might be through volunteering of developing your skills in an online course in topics. If you are into your subjects, you have to look for latest topics. This will show potential employers that you have done something constructive with your time. Make sure you have a reason for doing what you are doing during this time. Otherwise, it will just look very unfocused. So the recruiter's answer was this. But changing priorities, ma'am was speaking about changing careers. Various entities have waited in on many ways in which coronavirus could forever after the workforce. So in office work becomes a status symbol, the replacement of meetings with email and Zoom, the end of businesses travel as we know it, office buildings evolving into elaborate conference centers, mandatory on job medical screenings, the emergence of stronger workplace friendships, the rise of casual office wear and mandatory face masks, a shift away from 9 to 5 hours, home office stipends, more equitable workplaces for women, the elimination of middle management positions, the acceleration of automations, increased demand for digital skills aimed at bridging the digital divide. Based on the data, Monster, you would have seen, Tech Report also shared three takeaways on the topic of post coronavirus workforce, including the employers and employees alike, with both have concerns about job security. The many employees will experience mental stress symptoms as well as physical ones like weight fluctuations, back pain, sleeplessness, and many employees will cut jobs while embracing the prospect of remote work. According to historical data, meanwhile, many people switch to more career oriented courses for study during economic hard times. If the post COVID workforce follows this trend, degrees in fields like engineering, accounting, business, the natural sciences, healthcare, and computer related fields may become increasingly sought after. Econ honed in on specific pandemic situation which may be especially in demand, including fitness trainers, instructions, logisticians, drivers, and other positions within the supply chain, healthcare workers, software developers, and advertising, promotion, and marketing managers. Fast Company shared a list of flexible career categories which may also come out during this COVID, including therapy, mortgage and real estate, banking, bookkeeping, nursery auditing, insurance claims, medical case management, system administration, translation, K-12 education, database management, administration, inbound calls, online teaching, and pharmaceuticals. So this is was a gap filling. Now, sir, please continue, sir.
Yeah. Arjun, am I in? Yeah. I hope you're all able to see.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Smart career planning we are seeing, sir, on the screen.
Yeah. Yeah. So, are you? Yeah.
Explore number of careers.
Yes. Yeah. So we were trying to talk about this to go, and sorry for the interruption. I think you know. Sorry for the interruption. There's technology to go, and sometimes it happens, so it's okay.
Yes, sir.
So while we talk about to go, and while we are trying to talk about this to go, I hope I'm clear now.
Yes, sir.
Now to go in and to move across, you know. Well, you talk about to go there's some issue and there's some error. You all want to somebody to pick you up, the right person to pick you up. You have to have that kind of careers to go, and which talks about it to go. Are you able to see the screen? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Smart careers.
Yeah. Smart areas. While you talk about to go, and I think the video is on. Yeah. So when you talk about to go, well, we are trying to have this kind of thing to move, and 1 second. Sure.
Sir, screen is visible, sir.
Yeah.
Voice is not audible, sir.
I'm trying to see there's some problem about it. I'm just seeing that things to go.
Yes,
And
sir.
now,
Now
are you
audible,
able
sir.
to?
Yes, sir.
Now, now it's audible.
Yes, sir. Audible, sir.
Yeah. Is it fine? Not in login? No. We'll go and screen is also visible, right? Yeah.
Yes,
So
sir.
you make a
Still,
career choice to go and think to go and yeah, audio is also on. Yeah. Yeah, so I think audio is also on. So when you
yes,
talk
sir.
about to go in the careers, you want a right career to be picked up and so on and so forth. Well, you have this particular thing to go and you have to have a smart career. That's what we are trying to talk about it. If you want to be successful in this world, you have to have a to follow your passion, not your paycheck. Please remember this. Commodity and all, but still when you talk about it to go and when it comes to career, when it goes and so you have to focus on your passion, money automatically flows. Career planning. So start with your value, learn about yourself. That's very important. Identify what is that which keeps you going and how it goes on and so forth. Then move on to you identifying your skills, because that's what we miss on to it. You do a skill analysis of yourselves, do a SWOT analysis, and then look at researching career planning and career options available. Take a help required, some experts who go in and so on and so forth. And basically talk about you know uh, having you know to go and link your major and your career. So that's what is to go and what do you understand, what do you study, so on and so forth. It actually goes in and works across. So remember, all the progress takes place outside the comfort zone. If you start talking about comfort zone, and if you want to be comfortable, you want to do, and you can't really make a big progress, so you come out of your comfort zone, that goes in. So which is when you are not comfortable, that's what is important, because that's where you do all the progress to go in. So never give up. That's the very important lesson to remember. When you talk about careers to move, you never give up your things to go in. So these are the some of the careers which you're going to have, and I'll share this for you so that you can have a career choice to move. So you have your healthcare, where you're trying to talk about rising life expectancy, you talk about big careers in healthcare, big careers in education, because now things are going and changing to go. And agriculture is really important. I know where you're trying to talk about a lot of careers are available even in that field to go in. But that's one which actually feeds and think to go. And the most important career is agriculture, being a farmer, because until you have food, everything goes away. So you have to have food, and they are the ones who are the important professions, because we usually somehow we do not have value for the agriculture to go in, but that's very important. Now I also have a plan that in long run I will start a small agriculture kind of setup and move into go across. So financial services, where you're going to do banking and so on and so forth, apart from non-banking and so go, that actually is gonna go high. Digital connectivity, that's something which actually is a big thing. So you have going to have people who have an access, almost everybody across, to go in 80% access to go in, that goes in manufacturing will become more than 25% of a GDP. These are all figures for India. So retail is going to have big thing to go. So that particular thing which actually goes in power sectors, urbanization, locking about it to go in the physical connectivity plays a major. So these are some of the areas which could be of having futuristic careers to go. So, well, you have your careers to move and the futuristic careers. I hope my voice is audible now. Yeah. So, well, you talk about to go and you have those careers which actually go in and move across. Now, the 10 vectors of growth, please look into these kind of things which actually goes in healthcare, education, agriculture, financial services, manufacturing, retail, you're going to have focus. So once the government focuses on this, you will really have a lot of careers to go, and we have started doing that to move. So the enablers of future, that's what is going to go. And you may have a Zazi career path. Choose wherever you are, whatever is your career path to go. And the digital connectivity and a Price Water Coopers report I'm sharing with you. The previous data also was from that. So talk about World Bank. So digital connectivity is increased and the physical connectivity moves. And so entire kind of thing is talking about digitalization to go. You like it, you don't like it, you love it, you don't love it. You are going to have in future the digitalization, which is the enabler. So be ready for that career, or even in your career, see how digitalization can help you and go in across. So the factors which are affecting your career choices, just not corona. So we have been, the title of the thing is a COVID kind of thing to go, but there are a lot of other factors also which are affecting your career, just not you know COVID to go. So interest, your skills, your aptitudes, your people skills or interpersonal skills to go, and the experience, the family traditions, they play a major role to go. For example, I come from family of teachers, according to it, so that could go in. So it would be a business family, it would go in. If you are into the occupation, that actually goes in. So which actually creates a big thing to go. Your personality, which is important for you to go in, finally life goals and work values should all these kind of things go on. So COVID has been is a temporary phenomenon, but apart from this, all these things would actually may take you to go on. So remember, my advice would be where select several career options, just not one. So it's good to have several careers in mind, because just then more than one in the first year of college. So you remember that what you're going to have your lot of kind of career options, because today you are having absolutely disruptive career options. People are doing something which is basically you know uh, thing to move. So these kind of things which actually going across, it's a good idea to have a lot of careers. So it pays to be knowledgeable about more than just one career. If we look at actually talks about having something which is very, very important and thing to go and move across. So it also pays to develop because it's seen that average person changes a lot of jobs several times in their life. So it actually goes in. So be knowledgeable, make a career shift. People do, and you'll be surprised. There are a lot of people who do. I've seen a lot of doctors who get into management. I've seen a lot of engineers who get into management. I've seen a lot of people who get into teaching, the corporate people getting into teaching. So they make a career choice. It will be very, very vital for you to go in and go second. It also pays to develop a variety of general skills. So that's very important to have those skills which are there, particularly related to your communication, particularly related to your written, verbal, oral communication. We love our natural language, we love our mother tongue, we love our regional languages to go on. Unfortunately, you like it or you don't like it, we are into colonization to go, and English has been the factor to go. So improve that kind of thing. That's a career option. Let it not be your life, but that's a career which actually goes in. So improve your communication, keep your options open. That's very important to go. So don't get your options closed, keep them open. See that if you're able to do and move across, how do we go on. So possible careers in post-COVID world, I'll tell you this. Please make a note if you want to do. And so very good career choices. You have healthcare. If you want to get into healthcare, you need not be a doctor. Remember, you need not be a medical professional. Sciences, medical, and all that's fine. But even if it is on commerce, if you're an arts, if you're another graduate, these kind of things will help you learn and become an telehealth kind of thing, case management, healthcare administration, public health, and so on and so forth. There are a lot of areas which are basically there as a part of your career choices to move. And so remember that particular thing which actually goes in public health and so on and so forth. That could be healthcare, would be one big kind of career it's going to be there. It also gives you a passion and feel that yes, you're helping somebody to maintain the health and do it. So information technology, I think that is what going to rule the roost. So experts, and it need not be an IT guy, it need not be a computer engineer to go in. So you can do an learning diploma in your infrastructure to go. You can talk about your thing to move, which actually you know goes in your networking. I'm coming to that point which you are CSE kind of thing. So when you talk about it, you can get into your network structures, you can get into systems, you can get into cyber security, you can get into content creation management. You can get into app development. Is a new kind of skill which will go in. Or data analytics, data sciences has been a big thing. Today we talk about data analytics, you talk about big data, you talk about data mining, you talk about so many things to go. And that's going to be the future to go. Next 10 years you will have a career in data analytics for sure. So chatbot creators, somebody who gets into automation and all those kind of things to go in. Chatbot, artificial intelligence, and so on. So that would be wonderful career to go in. Innovations and creative concepts in your information technology, these would be the hot careers. You would have a lot of many other careers. I'm trying to talk about post-COVID. This could be a thing to go on. Education, that's a good thing which actually goes. And when we talk about education, we started with nobody wants to be a teacher, but when you go and if you are good at learning management systems, online learning management systems, that would be an expert that will really help you out to go. Curriculum development, curriculum development also makes it a big thing to go. Multimedia platforms, creating into that kind of thing, working onto multimedia platform in your sessions to go. Virtual learnings, examination, virtual examination, so on and so forth. Everything actually goes in and go. So there are a lot of careers in education also. So it's just not being a teacher. You can do a lot of other things to go, which will help you to move. And content management, curriculum development, so on and so forth would be a big thing or a big career to go. Because there are a lot of people who come or apps come with that who talk about having a content for teaching right from the primary to you talk about a research to go, any degree to go, KG to PG to research to go. That all would come into your thing to go. And then one more good choice would be your online entertainment. So that's where we talk about online sporting and gaming kind of thing, concerts, online discussions, online forums, and so on and so forth. It goes and many other virtual entertainment options which could be there, that would make a big career to go in coming times to go, because this is a new normal, and online would become the next part to go. And okay, so then retail and logistics, that would be there. And there have been a big change in your retail and logistics to go. So online retail and delivery system, supply chain management, and all those things would make a big thing, because in future there's going to be retail industry. It's going to be a very different and difficult to go. And so you are going to talk about that to go. Second part is now people have started focusing on homes, because work from home has started. You want your home to look beautiful. Today you're all getting into my room. You're able to see my room actually. Otherwise you never get an option to get into my room. So while you're trying to look into that, so I want my room to be looking good, looking to be, I'm more comfortable in a room, so on. So people are looking at home designing. That's going to be a new career to go. I mean, there have been architecture across, but today the focus has moved. People are looking at making it comfortable, making it different, making it things to go. And because it's just not about room to go, and it's not about aesthetics. It's also about comfort. Because now you are work from home, when you have to go in, your room should help you to swim. I mean, I have done a lot of makeshift arrangements to see that my room is basically conducive to online kind of thing to go. So your home designing really creates a big thing. It's a good careers to move. And then now with a lot of people going through a lot of stress, a lot of things to go, and psychological counseling would be a very good career, but it requires a human touch, human angle to go. And so get into a career for your thing to go. That could be a beautiful career. So you could have a lot of miscellaneous services. It could be helping somebody. It could be patient care services. It could be helping somebody. It could be doing something to move. So that particular thing which actually goes in and works across would be a very important kind of career choice to go on. So miscellaneous services would make a huge kind of thing to go, and many more innovative. Think of a new service. Think of something which would be a good career. People never thought this kind of things would come in. So you get into that kind of thing and make it move. That actually creates the next part to go on. So futuristic careers. Some futuristic careers would be 3D printing. That's going to be there, and that's going to be a good thing to go. I think I'll take 5 to 6 more minutes, so be patient. So we'll finish it off in 5 to 6 minutes. So we had that particular thing because of these breaks to go, and otherwise would have been on time to go. So 3D printing, that actually goes in Internet of Things. That's going to be there. User design experiences, digital marketing, app development, robotics and artificial intelligence is going to be there, which would be a big thing to move and go across. Cyber security, then data sciences, artificial intelligence, deep learning, and everything would become a new career choice to go, and that becomes a very important dimension to move. Some of the careers would get into it to go. So some really cool jobs that don't exist today but will soon come. So you can also prepare yourself for future chief productivity officer, because we're looking at somebody who can be talking about productivity in these tough times, COVID times, on everything to go on. So when you talk about the two that works and goes across, so excess capacity broker, when you have excess capacity, how do you manage those excess capacity? How do you basically talk about it to go and move across? That would be there, which actually goes in and works. So do that. Then a drone manager, today we talk about drones and the drone services to go. So that would be a thing to go in and work across a drone manager to move. Then you talk about private industry, air traffic control, because it's going to be there, which actually goes in drone management, air traffic management will get into it. A medical mentor, just not a doctor, somebody who can actually, delegate, the doctor can delegate the duty, the mentoring and the medical thing. Today we talk about somebody who's taking care of home quarantine patients. So there's somebody who could help you out to go. And so that kind of thing which goes in. Self-driving car mechanic, because tomorrow it's going to be the car which could be the self-driving kind of thing. So that could be there when you are getting into to go, and that really talks about thing to go. Autonomous transportation specialist, so that actually goes in personal medical interpreter and many more. And robots are coming. Yes, they'll take some and move across to go. So how to pick a right career option, and passion, that's very important. So the first thing and foremost thing is assess where you are interested in, what is your passion, analyze your strengths and weaknesses. That's vital. So once you are doing that, to go and work across to move, that actually creates a thing to go. And so while you talk about this to go, analyze your strengths and weaknesses, identify the right career choices, seek help from others, That's very important. Goes and so don't be afraid to take a new or unfamiliar path. Because sometimes, that's what we talk about, disruptive careers. So get into that. Sometimes the ones who are basically, thing to go and would do most beautiful and magical places, they will take you. So get into some new paths also. It's okay. That doesn't matter. So do not tread the regular thing, and you get into something to go and move across. Set your priorities. Balance your life. That's very important. Balancing your life, because that's what it goes in. Because if you are not able to have your balance of life, that really goes in. Set your goals. Goal setting is very important, and maintain that control. That's very vital to go. And so when you talk about careers, so these three basically talks about a thing to go. And so while you're going to have that, really makes it 10 to 4. So the only way to do great is to love what you're doing. So it's worth to keep in mind that neither success nor failure is ever final. So remember, in case you have a career problem, you have something, no, it's not final. The race is not completed till you win. So don't worry about it. So keep doing. It's never final. So you'll have your turn. So don't worry in case you have some problem with your career. So be think to go, and so follow your passion, do what you love what you do. That's more important. In case you don't get into a profession what you love, so start loving your profession what you are in, because that will create a thing to do what you love, and success will automatically follow. Passion is the fuel behind a successful career. That actually goes in. So follow your passion, follow your love, and that actually goes in and moves across. No. So never get so busy making a living that you forget to make a life. That's very important. So while you're trying to make a living, making living is making a career. So don't forget, while you're making your career, don't forget to make a life. That's very important. Make your life, make life for others. That actually goes in and moves across. So dream big. That's very important. While you're dreaming big, and that goes in and works across. So dream big. What's next? That's very important. When you dream big, and what is the next to dream, and have ability to do, and have get a motivation and get your attitude and moves in. So that works. So some days you just have to create your own sunshine. Don't worry, we were talking about this. If planet didn't work, the alphabet has 24 more letters, so stay cool, don't worry. Now you'll have a career which actually comes to you and goes in. So this is the careers which have a big impact, goes in, that would create a lot of things for you. So communication, marketing and reporting, management consulting, startups, to go on stakeholder engagement, academic experts, diversity and inclusion, supply chain management and employee engagement. So all those things would come in project things to go. You become a sustainability kind of specialist, that goes in where you understand. So all those careers would have a big impact on the society, big impact on corporate, and you really get a big career to move. Remember the points. You need to have coping skills, and coping the stress and being positive. That's very important. Individual social responsibility. So be responsible for anybody, care for society where you are in. Do your duty, do your help, and whatever contribution you can make to the society, please do it. Don't look at corporate social responsibility. You have also as responsible as a social individual. Do that. Network and network and network. That's very important. You have a good network, that really creates a big thing. So if you are have a LinkedIn profile, that's fine, get into it. Otherwise that goes, that's a good way. Social media networking, so on and so forth, that actually works and moves. So that takes a big thing. So learn new skills. Learn new skills, that is there. New skills and knowledge. Don't waste your time when you are having there yet some skills which you can do, and new online courses, self-development. It's okay if you are not comfortable, be happy. That's more important. But if you are comfortable, learn some new skill, new knowledge. That will surely go a long way in making your career. So get up and do some social service volunteering. Whatever you can do some help. That's very important. Learn by doing that. That's something which goes in. So that actually practices to go. Create a personal brand, because that's what you have to do. And so that actually talks about it. So online skills, learning and things. So be safe. That's very important. Be healthy, be happy, spread happiness and positivity. That's what you need to do. And so I would conclude with this beautiful thought, which says, I asked a wise man, tell me, sir, which field I could make a great career. So he smiled with a smile and said, be a good human being. There's a lot of opportunity and in this area, and very little competition. So that particular thing goes. And so be a good human being is the best career you can do, and do across. So survivor toolkit. How difficult the life may seem, there's always something to you can do, succeed at. So do it. That goes in. So don't lose hopes. So tough times never last, but tough people do. Stay home, stay safe, and do in and go across. please be at home, घर में रहे, सुरक्षित रहे, and कोई road पर ना निकले. So there's a crisis ahead. Still, we are into a big crisis. So keep the social distance, wash your hands, clean surfaces, on and so forth, so that you are safe. The only thing is prevention is better than cure. So prevent yourself, maintain that discipline that will never affect you to go on. So new mindset. The whole thing is all about coming out of this crisis, being healthy, a wealthy company, healthy country, healthy individual to go. So become self-reliant, Atmanirbhar. We always talk about being Atmanirbhar. Prime Minister of India also is talking about being Atmanirbhar, then which actually works across, which talks about it to move. So while you are doing an Atmanirbhar Bharat, all of us get into that and be legal and efficient means to become Atmanirbhar, and that would actually make a huge difference to go. So building towards the future. So your career is a future to go, and so future will have surprises. So good and bad and ugly. So but it doesn't matter. End of the day, all you need is hope and strength. Hope that it will get better. So you be hopeful and the strength to hold on until it does. So that's very important to go. So I hope that there will be days when you fall in love with being alive and being having a good career to go on. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat. Vande Mataram, that's what goes, and I'm proud to be an Indian. So I wish we all become great human beings, noble souls, and have great careers. Wishing you all the best. Thank you, one and all. So Jai Hind, Jai Bharat. Any questions? If you have time, I think we are overshot from time because of the technology. If you have some questions, you can ask me. One second part is, if you are not able to ask me, please note down my email. You can always send your thing to go, and I'll share my number also. Somebody can message me also in case somebody wants. Don't call me often because that goes in, but message is fine. You can do that particular thing to go across. So have a wonderful time. It was very good to go in and to go across. So that goes. So have wonderful times and thing to go, and so thank you one and all. Any questions are welcome.
Thank you so much, sir. We'll take a minute for valedictory speech by pattern of the webinar, Dr. D. Madhusudan Reddy, sir, OSG to Vice Chancellor. I welcome, sir, to address the gathering. Thank you, sir.
Very good afternoon, one and all. Before saying something, let me have the privilege of sharing a appreciation certificate to Dr. Chetan Srivatsa.
Sir, stop sharing.
Yeah. Madhusudan Reddy garu. Good afternoon. Hello. Yeah.
Please stop sharing it.
Yeah. Hello.
Disable.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I think there is a little technical glitch in sharing the screen. So I request the host to share the screen after the completion of the session. So on behalf of our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Sri Rahul Bojja IAS, respected Register Professor Pinni Pawan Kumar Garu, on my behalf, I thank the resource persons. Morning session was by Dr.Monisha Dhiman, who is Professor and Head Department of Microbiology, Central University, Punjab. And after later followed by a wonderful session by Dr. Chetan Srivatsa, Associate Professor, School of Business Management Studies, University of Hyderabad. Sir and ma'am, it's our privilege to have you here for today's sessions. And the whatever ideas you have given us, actually really it has generated many ideas in the minds of participants. And we know this COVID-19 has affected pandemic throughout the world, and where the GDP of all the economies have gone doldrums. Only thing is survival of the fittest. The more you are strong at your willpower, the more you can easily come out of this. And if you see latest developments, like Chinese Premier President, like Xi Jinping, what he said is, he asked the people to eat less. But fortunately, our India, we don't have such problem with the food grains and all. But only thing is we need to come out of economic crisis through work actually. So through development of closed industries, whatever we have, whatever were closed all these days. And only thing is we have got very good manpower. And globally, when you see, when compared to other countries, youth percentage is more in India when compared to all other nations. But only thing is you need to have a boost to this youth. So that is possible because of good people are good, mentors like Dr. Chetan Srivatsa, where he has spoken outspokenly actually regarding this. And whatever government side, they are doing better, whether state government or central government, because Rome was not built in a day. So whatever it got derailed, actually, it takes time to streamline everything. But the thing is, we need to have discipline. We need to have commitment, where nothing is impossible under such situations. So really, I once again thank all the both the resource persons, Dr. Monisha Dhiman and Dr. Chetan Srivatsa, for having spending their valuable time. Thank you, Honorable.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. It was pleasant being here.
Answer session and we'll check this. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, sir. Sir, here are some questions from participants. Shall we proceed with?
Yeah, sure. We'll ask. We'll ask quick questions because I have a session. You can ask them to, Hello.
Sir, once again I repeat the question. The question from Dr. How to overcome hurdles in teaching profession in this pandemic situation?
Teaching profession, unfortunately, I know, while I'm seeing those reports to go in, and also I have a lot of friends who are into this kind of profession who are really having troubles to go, and I've been talking to them. It's very difficult, the kind of phenomenon where we talk about teachers losing a job and basically are not getting really properly paid and all. It's very difficult phenomenon. Basically, I think one thing I should say that in these tough times, best way is, you have to see that you sustain yourself somehow. In meantime, talk to the authorities, talk to the universities, talk to the regulators, talk to the government, and things to see that certain things would go. And I think there should be an overhaul of entire education system, because people still today, I go on interview inspections on some universities across. I always tell them that the teacher is the most important resource. People have forgotten that kind of thing, that creating a big building, creating an infrastructure, creating a thing to go on is important. No, it's not that. So we need to bring in a change, although it's a very long-term process, but the mindset has to change. And I've seen some teachers who are turned entrepreneurs and have their own institutions today, still do not respect the teachers. So somehow that is something which actually goes. And so it's tough time. So possibly, I understand it's very difficult for somebody to survive and somebody to go. And so I think a teacher should in this time get into new skills, new learning processes, and new things to go, and possibly pick up some online courses to go, and short-term courses and do, and so that they can upgrade their skills and possibly look for some good alternative to go. Or you can start your own channel, video, YouTube channels, teaching kind of things to go, and you become an independent kind of teachers. That would go well, kind of receiving to go, and then that would be one way where you can actually create a impact on others to go. And yeah, I think I've answered this question. Yeah, please email your question. That's a good way to go, and so that I can answer them, because we are already running late of the time to go. And so please email me the questions. I'll answer them, or whatever it is. Maybe tomorrow, day after tomorrow, in short time you'll get an answer. So please be sure about it. I have given my email ID. I have even given my WhatsApp thing to go on. So you can always write to me. Email is a better option. Please write to an email ID. So I'll answer the questions. Yeah, that should be fine. I mean, sorry for that, because technology took a lot of our time. Yeah. So thank you very much. I thank everybody to go on, and I wish you all a great career and happy lives. Be safe, be happy. Thank you, one and all. Yeah. Thank you, Arjun. That's fine.
Sir, thank you very much, sir. Now I share my screen, sir.
Yeah.
A word of appreciation and gratitude from our side, sir.
Thank you.
Please accept, sir.
Thanks a lot. Thank you very much. It looks so beautiful. So thank you very much. So mail me across that.
Sir,
I will be happy
now
to
I
see.
request our Dr.M.S.R.Anjaneyulu sir to wrap up here both the sessions, sir. 2 minutes we will be taking.
Yeah, fine, fine, yeah. Because I have a class at 1:30. I need to just take some. Yes.
Good afternoon, all. It gives me, this is Dr. M.S.R.Anjaneyulu, Academic Coordinator, PG Center, Palamuru University PG Center, Kolhapur. It gives me immense pleasure to give a rapporteur for this particular session, even though it is a little bit, time is running away, but still we have to go for this rapporteur because the two stalwarts, we can say, for this today's session both from Central Universities, one from South and one from North. Sir, it gives me immense pleasure. In the morning, Dr. Monisha Dhiman, Department of Microbiology from University of Bathinda has spoken on pandemic, that is how to prepare for pandemic as well as post-pandemic COVID-19 scenario in terms of career prospects. So Madam has started with respect to opportunities in MBBS, BDS, then Ayurveda, then opportunities in Indian economy and especially related to agriculture sector. Then Madam has given a list of courses in terms of forensic science, biotechnology, geology, basic zoology, microbiology, scenario during how it has changed during COVID-19, then job scenario during COVID-19, then quoted in the middle of the difficulty lies opportunities from Albert Einstein. It was rightly suitable for present occasion. Then Madam has also spoken on multi-pronged strategies for planned strategies to manage the crisis and build a flexible education system in India, highlighted special online resources for learning during COVID. Then Madam has also spoken on future work, how it look like, then changing priorities, changing careers, question and should answer, how to answer them about the job prospects, career opportunities post-COVID, and what next, how to utilize the particularly present time. Then in the second session, Dr. Chetan Srivatsa sir has spoken related to, especially related to other sectors. He started with respect to build career in this tough times, how it is becoming tough to companies also to generate revenue. Then finding right job, great career wasn't easy before. Also, even we think that it was the toughest time during the COVID, but it was also tough during the pre-COVID also. But only we have not focused or not highlighted to that particular aspect. But now we are witnessing how important is a tough time and how to take that challenge and how to succeed in this. Then sir has also pointed out steps taken by government to boost economy. Then sir has suggested how would we should take efforts for to boost our economy from our point of time and what is our contribution. Then right career choices. Then what are the new qualification, career guidance, discovering ourselves in the post COVID scenario. Sir has given enlightened us in a very efficient manner. Sir, and sir has also specified about career paths of the post future in the very well manner, sir. Then once upon a time and today how the situation has changed, spoken on career counseling to young in the future, then career map, how to prepare it by every individual, diversity career fair, then impact on what we can say corona vision on business opportunities. And sir has also spoken on explaining understanding COVID pandemic, jobs in skill shortage areas like health, safety, social, supply, and essential sector, how we have to adopt those areas for choosing career. Then sir has also pointed out on choose a career that suits to what is your position, then aspirations for dream job, rules for choosing a career, then choosing career options that match values and priorities, surviving in the yucca world, then smart career planning factors to consider, and what should we do and what we should not do. Then spoken on smart career options, then career planning, then rightly pointed all the programs take place outside the comfort zone, solving problems across sectors, then possible career in post COVID-19, in especially related to retail and other emerging areas. This is a very enlightened sessions. Both the sessions are. Our audience have benefited with this particular thing. I thank from my side for both Professor Monisha Dhiman as well as the Dr. Chetan Srivatsa, Associate Professor from Central University of Hyderabad. Now I give the opportunity. I thank the organizers to giving this opportunity. Now I hand over it to the organizers. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir. I deem it a great honor and privilege to offer the vote of thanks on behalf of Placement Cell Palamuru University. First and foremost, thank Dr. Monisha Dhiman ma'am, Dr. Chetan Srivatsa sir for spending the valuable time and delivering such an informative webinar. I extend my sincere thanks to all the organizers of the webinar, Chief Patron, Sir Sri Rahul Bajja IAS, Vice Chancellor, Palamuru University, and Patron, Professor Pindi Pawankumar, Registrar, Dr. P. Malsan Reddy Sir, OE2 VC, Dr. N. Kumaraswamy Sir, Controller of Examinations, Chairperson Dr. M. Noorjahan, Principal, Convener Dr. S.N. Arjun Kumar, Placement Officer, and Technical Advisor Dr. M.S.R.Anjaneyulu Sir, Academic Coordinator. I thank the technical team for making this webinar successful without any disturbance or issues. And lastly, I thank all the participants for their participation. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, sir. Once again, I want to introduce both the professors because they are from North and South. Sir, ma'am, Professor Monisha ma'am, sir, ma'am is from Central University, Batinda, sir. Sir is awaiting youngest professor, you know, both of you are the youngest, ma'am. Sir, you can interact, ma'am. Sir is Dr. Chetan Srivatsa, sir, awaiting. Sir is associate professor. Sir is very kind enough. Offline and online, sir will be coming down to Palamuru University. Sir hails from Mahbub Nagar. He likes to be with us, ma'am. Sir, you can interact, sir, because
Madam, good morning. I missed your session in the morning. I wanted to be a part of your session, but somehow I had a meeting in the morning and followed by a session, so I couldn't interact or be there in the session. So I think I missed an important kind of thing to go on. Yeah. So let's get connected, madam.
Yeah, definitely. Yes, we'll be connected. And yeah, you're from you're from microbiology, right?
I am from Management Studies and University of Hyderabad.
Okay. So yes, definitely we'll be connected. And if you come to Batinda sometime, so that would be great. We can meet.
Sure. We look forward to that. We hope that the COVID goes off and we come back to normal and we all have a physical meeting done and online meeting to go on. But anyway, this and I'm pretty happy to see you here, ma'am, and thank you for being, helping the budding university. I think we should be, hand-holding them to really become great to go on. They have the potential. Only thing they require the hand-holding. I think we should all do
definitely,
that.
Yes,
thanks a lot for it. On a personal behalf.
It was also very nice and very interactive. Students had so many queries, so definitely it was very interactive and good session. So yes, thank you very much for your time too. Okay, it was good listening to you.
Thank you, ma'am and sir. Sir, we such a way we have designed that ma'am will be speaking with the science graduates and science postgraduates, and sir will be speaking on the arts, and so that culmination of arts and science students will get benefited. Even if any student, because of this Zoom app 100 people limitation, if anybody is out, they can view in YouTube. And we are going to keep this link in our site, sir, so that they can play back and they can listen to this and they can be guided, sir. Thank you,
that should be there,
everyone, for coming online, especially Professor Monisha ma'am and Dr. Srivatsa sir. And I thank on this platform our chief patron, Sri Rahul Bajja sir, IAS, in charge Vice Chancellor, and patrons, Professor Pindi Pawankumar sir, Registrar, and Dr. D. Madhusudan Reddy sir, OSD to VC. Just now he has attended the validatory session, sir. Earlier they are busy in the plantation work, sir. Now another patron, Dr. N. Kumaraswamy sir, Controller of Exams, Chairperson Dr. M. Noorjahan ma'am, Principal, and my friend M.S.R. Dr.Anjaneyulu sir, and all the faculty members, even my guru sir, Dr. Surendra Prasad sir, is attending this webinar, sir. I thank even Patrick sir, Dr. Patrick sir also joined, sir. I thank everyone, all
That's
the
a
teaching
good afternoon.
professors, assistant professors, all the teaching fraternity, and the especially not least the students. Very important, sir, in our placement assistance. As you said, there is no, we cannot give any guarantee, but we can give such type of knowledge sharing that we can do. That we have done excellently, sir. As is today is World Entrepreneurs Day. You are all intrapreneurs who are going to become in entrepreneurs in future. So I thank everyone coming online. I thank our microbiology students, Shivani Reddy and Chinmay, for supporting me all this webinar and handling this session very neatly. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you all.
And Mallikarjun Reddy, sir, who has given our technical support. So I thank Jamil and non-teaching staff who has given all the support to make this successful. You know, sir, about these webinars, uncertainties are there.
It's very difficult. Very difficult.
Normally,
I had a class yesterday. It was very difficult. Now I have a class at 1:30, and again it will be. I know there are a lot of issues to go on. Thank you.
So this is the way how we handle the situation, sir.
But good way. I mean, I really appreciate thing to go, and it's a good work, and you know, you are doing such a wonderful job. I think I should congratulate you on that. You know, I mean, all the best, Dr. Arjun and the team to go on. I wish you really do wonders. God bless you all. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Thank you very much. Very nicely done. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Wait for feedback on that. నేను యూట్యూబ్లో పెట్టలేదు.
All the participants,
Feedback link is provided in chat box.
Please fill feedback link. Only 100 participants per day. So tomorrow can also be available. So you can use this feedback link tomorrow also. Thank you.
వాడు వాట్సాప్ ఫీడ్బ్యాక్ కోసం వస్తాడు అంతే. ఫీడ్బ్యాక్ ఫామ్ వస్తే సర్టిఫికేట్ వస్తుందని. రిమూవ్ చేయండి అమ్మ. ఇప్పుడు ఎవరైతే అడ్మిట్ ట్రై చేస్తున్నారో వాళ్ళ పక్కకు రిమూవ్, అడ్మిట్ పక్కకు రిమూవ్ వస్తుంది కదా, రిమూవ్ చేసేసాం. ఏం లేదు, యూట్యూబ్లో లింక్ పెట్టాలి, పెట్టలే సార్. యూట్యూబ్ ఇప్పుడు తిరుగుతుంది.